Hello, Guardians, and welcome to Destiny Reset, episode 23. This podcast is about anything and everything related to Destiny the game. If you enjoy playing Destiny as much as we do, then you're in the right place. Welcome to all the new Destiny owners in the community. This week, it's Up for Anything 3.0. We talk about what's going on in the community, how to replay old content, Arrow's Trials win streak, and how Cyborg needs to drop the salt. Hello, Guardians, and welcome. This is Arrow Knight, and here with me, you know him, CyborgSasquatch. How's it going, man?
You know me.
Yeah, everybody knows you.
I guess so. It's going all right, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, man.
Good.
I had a great week in Destiny. I cannot wait to talk about it. It had ups and downs.
I'm looking forward to hearing about it. I know you've been
probably already heard me talking about it on Twitter.
Yeah, you've been a busy boy. How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was great. It was awesome. Food and naps, man. I think I took like 4 or 5 naps after we ate.
Naps, that is what Thanksgiving is all about.
Oh, yeah, man. Family time's great.
I was there there with you. I got over and did hell of a lot of cooking and drank a couple brewskis, ate,
very nice,
passed out.
Yeah. So yours was awesome then, it sounds like.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Got some good relaxing time in. I had kind of a short week in Destiny this week. I didn't get to spend as much time as I would have liked on Destiny, but got some fun stuff to talk about still.
It happens every now and then.
Yeah.
We have those weeks.
So
yeah, hopefully balance each other out. So
we will. I'll give you the floor for the most part this week and let you talk about all your interesting experiences and trials and the like. So let's talk some announcements real quick.
Yeah, you need to tell them what's up, dude.
All right, let me tell these guys what's up, guys. If you want this what has been considered by a vocal majority to be the best part of the show, the geography lesson. If you want this to continue, you got to hit me up, you got to tweet me, and you got to let me know if you want your city to be the geography lesson of the week, whether it's in the U.S. or any other country that we serve. You got to hit us up on Twitter at Destiny Reset. Tell me the city and or the country where you live or have lived or love or whatever it is. Let us know what's so special about that place and also what the best class in Destiny is. And I will feature you and your locale in the geography lesson of the week. Unfortunately, everyone was too busy either in Destiny or at American Thanksgiving to send me a tweet this week. So, sorry guys, right. No geography lesson.
Yeah, we definitely don't forget to tell him your favorite class or the best class, if that may be different.
It's the best. I want to know what is the best.
There you go. It's kind of like turned into a nice little angle here we have now, dude, because it's kind of like a feature for an actual Guardian as well.
This is true.
You know? So
I can talk about a Guardian as well.
It's pretty cool, man. So
how's that giveaway coming on Twitter?
Yeah, giveaway. We shot a tweet out again today. Like we said last week, we do not want to annoy you guys with it. It's really all its intention is to give you guys things. So we don't want to bombard your Twitter feed. But we are closing in on 900, and we may shoot out another tweet or two. But basically, if you follow and retweet, you will be eligible to win a $10 point card to basically get you some silver in Destiny on your preferred console of choice.
For those emotes.
Yes, yep. And like we said before, at 1,000, Cyborg sitting on some engrams for you guys. Those are sold out, guys. They're sold out.
Can't get them anywhere else.
So,
unless you want to pay $150 on eBay or whatever some jerk is charging at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I, however, decide not to profit, but to give them to my loving fans.
Yes, I mean, you're actually technically losing on the deal, right? Except, true. I mean, it's going to fill your heart with joy.
But the gain cannot be compared.
Yes, exactly. Yep. So closer, the quicker we get to 900 and 1,000, man, those engrams will be mailed out to a special lucky guardian and a derp fam. So
absolutely, and I already have another something special lined up for a Christmas present for a special guardian. Yeah, I can't tell. Yeah, you know what it is. I'm not gonna tell anybody else though, but it's something that you want.
Yes. Destiny related.
It is Destiny related.
Hopefully.
Some swag. You know, I'm all about that swag.
Definitely. We were just talking about how I finally made room for all my Destiny stuff. It's got like an actual showcased place in my game room / office now. So which you've got all your stuff laid out as well, don't you?
Yeah, I'm kind of running out of space on my desk here on my my little nook in my corner of the house where keep my console and my TV and all my nerd stuff that I can't keep in the rest of the house because my wife would look at me sideways. Yeah. But I'm running out of table space. I'm having to stack on bookshelves and stuff.
I almost bought, man, they had the Black Friday sale in the Bungie store this week, and I almost bought. I didn't even realize they had like a wooden little simple model of a sparrow on there.
Yeah,
man.
that was pretty cool. They had some neat stuff up there. They had some artwork up that you could purchase. What else did they have that I liked? Did you see the children's book?
Oh, I had that in my cart, dude. Yeah. The children's book is so cool. D for Destiny. Yeah,
it looked really cool. I think I got distracted and I forgot to purchase it. I'll have to go back and check.
Here's my thing, man. Like, I had the Sparrow and the children's book, and I honestly hope to order them at some point. I had them in my cart, was going to check out, and the shipping and handling was like $13. And I'm just like, dude, that's as much as the book.
You're not the only one who I've heard complain about this. Somebody else on Twitter was trying to buy, I think, just the children's book.
Right.
And the shipping was like $11.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah.
Really, guys?
I mean, it basically stopped me from ordering it. Yeah. Because it was like, I don't know, $25 for everything, and then shipping and handling was $12-13, I think. Yeah, and I honestly I didn't order it because the shipping and handling. Yeah. Like, I was expecting $5-6. Okay.
I'm looking at an invoice from Bungie for the last order I just placed. 2 items. They were lightweight. I can't say what they are because it'll give it away to the listeners. USPS Standard Post 1171. So it sounds like they've got like a flat rate that they're using. They're just shipping out the same rate for these boxes or something.
We should tweet them and just ask them.
I don't know.
Like,
hey,
what's
man,
up, guys? Can we get like a little bit better shipping rates?
Yeah, I have some other qualms with Bungie Store, but I'm not gonna not going to get on the air about it. I'm not trying to put them on blast. I mean, I think a lot of their stuff is cool. But there's some, I'm really like picky about product quality and different stuff like that. And so like when I buy stuff online from somebody like where I can't see it tangibly, like can't go look at it, something else, like I'm already kind of nervous. So when I buy something and I have it, like, I'm not going to send it back if I'm not, like, 100% satisfied, but...
Right. No, I am definitely like that.
Another day.
I am definitely like that with clothing, dude, because I ordered that shirt, that Nepal shirt, which is completely... doesn't even matter if I like the shirt or not. The whole point to buy it was to donate. But that thing was... it was, like, not really my kind of shirt, but it was worth it. It's cool to have, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, the old donation part of it was awesome. But anyways, man, we go off on tangents. This time, at least, it wasn't about, like, trials or something.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later.
We're talking about buying junk.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, Black Friday sale at Bungie was cool. If anybody caught that, let us know what you bought. Show us your cool swag you got coming in.
Yeah, tweet us for sure. Anything you ordered, anything you think we'd like. Or the Derp fan, for that matter.
You wanted to remind some of our listeners about our Bungie group, right?
Yes, yeah, man. I'm thinking we might have quite a few new Destiny players, and we've actually had some people drop into the group and the group.me chat, and we just wanted to remind anybody new that's listening, new Guardian or anything of the likes, that our Bungie group, just search Destiny Reset on Bungie.net. and you'll see a forum post in there that has anything and everything related to our Derp family, the podcast, Twitter feeds, YouTube accounts, anything like that. So check that out, and don't hesitate to join that. I highly recommend, Cyborg and I highly recommend joining the group.me chat that Slarty made for us. There is conversation going on all day long about Destiny and gaming in general. So if you guys are new to the game and new to the group, welcome, and definitely check that out and join those different things.
Yeah, and if you get on the GroupMe, be sure to check out the specific channel, the LFG channel for each console. That may be a good place for you to link up with some other new Guardians for you to do some content together that maybe some of the veterans have already done. You might not have as easy of a time trying to fire team up with some of the older guys, but you may be able to find some newer players play along with you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, don't hesitate to use the forum on the Bungie group page and everything as well, guys, if you're looking for fire teams and stuff like
throw
that.
Up a post, say, hey, new guys here, and just link up together, make some friends. That's how we did it. I'm sure that's how you'll do it too.
For sure, man. Cyborg,
yes.
Don't do it.
What?
Don't even do it. It's my turn.
Okay, I'll let you.
How was your reset, man?
It was all right, man. It was good. Is that
right?
I didn't get as much, like I said, I didn't get as much in as I wanted to this week.
Be honest,
with the
though.
holidays.
I'm going to cut in.
Yeah.
Was it the holiday or is it Fallout 4?
No, it was the holidays, Thanksgiving. No, I actually gave more time to Destiny than Fallout 4 this week, but I did take... All right. I took one night off, Thanksgiving night, and I did not play Destiny. I did play a different game, and just because I was just mentally just trashed after a long day, didn't want to talk to anybody, didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to zone out. So I didn't play Destiny that night, but and then I had some other things go on this weekend. Went to a football game and fun stuff like that. So in around,
like we were talking before the show, man, it's getting to be that time of year, dude.
Yep, it's that time of year. Stuff is just going on. It's the holidays, it's Christmas. So, but in and around all those activities, I did manage to get a King's Fall hard mode clear in, at least one. Didn't get the two that I like to do, but got that done, and got some trials in, and
how long is it taking you guys to run the hard mode now, from start to finish?
It kind of varies a little bit from week to week, but I would say on average, somewhere between an hour and a half.
Okay, not too bad.
Really, the catch is how well we execute on Oryx.
Right.
Sometimes we do really well. Sometimes we're kind of slacking.
Right.
And that's what can add 20 minutes. If we don't have our crap together.
Yeah, I've heard multiple opinions on different podcasts and in the community and stuff that really the Oryx fight is what feels like hard mode. The rest of it, you kind of just can get through decently easy once you've done it a few times.
Yeah, once you've done it a few times. I mean, I feel like War Priest still keeps you on your toes.
Right.
Just because of the extra damage that the War Priest himself will do in hard mode, and just having to work around that. So if you lose a player early on in that encounter, it can really hurt your DPS, and if you have some Titans running bubbles for you to keep you alive, if you lose one of those guys, it can hurt you pretty bad. So
right.
But it's like a lot of other things. You just kind of master the mechanics and the execution and everybody knowing their part. And a lot of the time you can get through that stuff pretty quick.
Yeah, we were talking this weekend while we were doing trials. I've got 3 of a 6-man fire team ready to go to run me through hard mode. So hopefully before too long, I won't have to say that I still haven't gotten past even up to the War Priest yet.
Yeah, man.
I've made it to the War Priest the first week, and I don't think I've been back in.
Gotta get back in there.
I know, man. I will, and then I'll tell you all about it, because I know.
Just take off the trials for one weekend.
I know, man. I know.
Take your boys,
or even one night, right?
Yeah, take your boys and go conquer it. Just go get it done.
Yeah, we need to do that. Did you do any nightfalls this week?
I dropped into the middle of one with one of my buddies, so I didn't do the whole thing, but jumped down into the pit and went to town on old Alakhul, and what did I get as a reward? I think I got 18 strange coins.
Yeah, I don't remember what I got. I do remember. Have you gotten his helm yet? I did get that for a second time.
But my teammate did get it on our run.
Okay,
he got that to drop.
I got discipline and no, intellect, strength on my first one, and I think or discipline, and then the opposite on the other. I still don't have one with.
You know what? I take
discipline.
that back. That was a different occurrence. He got the fusion to drop.
Oh, okay.
We did it the other night. Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah, I ran it twice. I do not remember what I got other than that helmet again. I really don't.
I'll be excited when they get these new exotics in because hopefully those will drop in that loot table.
Right.
And maybe have like a little higher chance of dropping than the older stuff. So we'll have something to look forward to. Be like, oh yeah, I got the No Land Beyond. Or I got this. Got the Dragon's Breath. Sure. You know.
They're not even really talking about it, are they? Like, everybody still kind of seems like the overall opinion is that they still need to be upped just a little bit, to compensate for the.
I just think it should like. I feel like those types of rewards should not dip below a certain number in light level based on what you are.
Right.
Like if I'm a 315 light level. Like, what? Don't give me stuff that's 280. It serves no purpose for me anymore. Mm-hmm. But 3 legendary marks, you know.
Definitely, yeah.
Like at least give me set a baseline. Say it's maybe 300 if you're past 300 or something like that. So like, either it's somewhat decent or I can use it to infuse something. I don't know.
Yeah, I was excited that first week we got the patch because we were talking about that on the episode before that, and then I got like a 307 Titan mark, and I was like, awesome, dude. Like above 300, I'll take it. And then I don't know that I've gotten anything above 300 since then.
I haven't. I don't think, unless it was maybe. No, I don't think I have. I think it's been sub 300 gear.
Yeah, it's just missing. I don't know if it's the buff, that we had from it every week or what it is, but the Nightfall is just missing that sparkle, man. Like, it was just fun to jump in there and knock it out. Even if it felt a little like a chore, I don't know, it was just cool. Tuesday, man, jump in, do the Nightfalls real quick.
Yeah, or just give me my glowy head energy back.
Right? Yeah.
I always wanted more out of that. Like, I'd always hoped that you could get different auras to go around your head for different things. Like, what if after you went to the lighthouse you could get an aura around your head that was like gold for a week or something?
That would be cool, man.
Right? Like they can do stuff with that. It's not like, I don't know, it's not like there's not enough memory unless that's something that they took out to save memory. I don't know. Right.
It's like they need like a one-person team, a 1 or 2 person team just sitting over here thinking of the little just things that create awesome ownership in your character from doing activities that really probably don't require a ton, on the back end to do.
What's the name of that team that Eververse is supposed to fund?
Oh, right. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
The investment team? No, what are they called?
It's not you're not talking about the live team, are you?
The live team.
Yeah, the live team.
Isn't that something?
So it's a whole team. There you go. We just need like one of those
hey guys,
to be
give me some
about
freaking head auras here.
Yeah, just something simple, man. You're right. Just something simple like that on several different activities. It just kind of like I'm running around the tower and I went to the lighthouse and there's something on my character that's showing everyone that I went to the lighthouse. That's a really cool idea.
Get like a green one for hitting rank 5 in Iron Banner.
Right.
Or maybe you can like collect them and swap them out. Choose which one you like.
No, that's cool.
Insert head aura here. Give me that slot. All right.
Did you order anything Arms Day?
I did. No, I it's funny, like the past 2 or 3 weeks, I keep forgetting to go order something. Because I haven't really been too big on ordering his stuff. I know some people kind of nerd out about it.
Right.
I know you do, and Terry does. You're like, oh, we're going to
Joe loves it, man.
Suros Disc 47, whatever.
Yeah,
Joe's into it too. Like, I'm just not like super into ordering something that I have to sit in my inventory, and then I gotta wait and hopefully get the right perks, or I gotta keep it until I get the right perks. And then most of the time, there's vendor guns or guns that I can earn that are better than these anyways. So why am I even wasting my time and glimmer on this. So I just kind of like forgot about it for a while. But I was like, well, let me go see what the gunsmith's got. And I saw he had a PDX 45 on sale. So I was like, well, I don't have one of those, and I hear they can be good, comparable to the Hawksaw. So let me go ahead and pick one up. So we'll see on Wednesday what comes in, and I'll try to get a good roll. We'll see what comes about.
I can't remember if I ordered another one of those. I did see the 47 popped back up, and I ordered another one of those
that was
just in case, because I think there's one roll. Terry and I were talking that is better than the full auto that we got, but other than that, ours is the second best. So
nice.
I'm wondering, man, after the next patch, if we're going to be getting out some Mata Multi tools and some Suros 47s and 43s.
Right.
I guess we'll see.
Could be.
Yep, for sure. Did you say you ran trials this weekend?
I did. And,
on Passage?
Well, no, I ran... how many cards did I go through? 6, 7, 8 cards trying to get there. We didn't have as much success as I would like.
Yeah.
We did not go to the Lighthouse. I played
you guys,
with...
Was it your normal crew?
No, well, it was one of my normal teammates. Me and Tank play. And the last weekend that we had played, we played with a friend of ours that we sometimes play PvP with, but not as often play trials, and we went to the Lighthouse. But this weekend we picked up a friend of ours, Cody Carl Digits.
Oh, nice.
Who's a guy on Xbox, and he's been, following the podcast for a while, and he's actually in my raid group.
He's our first giveaway winner, right?
Yeah, we gave away the Taken King to
Mr. Cody.
And so, yeah, he raids with us every week, and we've talked some about PvP, and we may have even played Iron Banner or something together, maybe not. But I was just like, hey man, like, we don't have a third tonight. Like, do you want to come play trials? Just give it a couple cards. And he was like, yeah. Really didn't have a firm grasp of like what his skill level or anything was. I was just like, well, like, we play with him all the time. Like, let's go give it a shot. And he was pretty good. And we had a good time. We just, I don't know, we couldn't pull it off.
Right.
There were games where we felt like we should have pulled it off and failed to. There were games where it was really, really close, and, either I ate it or, we ate it as a team.
Right.
Things happen.
Yeah, definitely those weekends, man. I've been there for sure.
Yeah. Well, we were on one good passage, and we were talking about this before the show, but we were about to win. We were in the 4th round. I think it was like 4-2 or 4-1. And, we start the round, and then all of a sudden both my teammates get kicked.
Oh.
And I clutched it, and I killed all 3 of the enemy players within like 10-15 seconds. And I was like disengaged and was celebrating, and one of the dudes self-resed and killed me. And then after that, I couldn't recover, and they won. And that kind of kicked us in the pants,
Yeah, the old
had to start over because we had the loss, and we didn't want to take the loss. I think we were in game 5, or I don't know, maybe it was earlier, but I think the furthest we got was maybe 6. We just couldn't.
You at least got the
we
armor.
got some boots. I think it was. Yeah, we got some boots and stuff. Cody got the shader.
Oh, nice. I did too, man. I did too.
Nice, man. Yeah, I was really jealous of that. But,
yeah, I love the trial shaders. I got that the better one. I was told.
Yeah.
When it dropped for me.
But
so
overall, I had a good time. Like, regardless of the fact that we didn't reach our goal, which would have been go to the Lighthouse, and we had some really downs, but we had a lot of highs too. And I had a lot of fun just competing, and winning the matches that we won, and learning from some of the matches that we lost. Because I was kind of out of my comfort level this weekend. I was playing Sunsinger, which is something that, if you know how I usually play, I don't play Sunsinger in the Crucible. And I know it's a good class. Like, a lot of really good PvP guys, like, I've seen them play Sunsinger like a beast. It's just not,
man.
Yeah, it's just not what I'm skilled with. Like, I don't know how to apply it sometimes. And Mostly just in using my super. Like I just would make poor decisions in rezzing a lot.
Right.
Like I'm gonna res now when I'm surrounded by 3 people, and then they all punch me to death. So I don't know. I make some poor knee-jerk reactions with that, and that would cost us some rounds, I think, or at least cost us a super.
Well, that's self-res, man. It's random. Like I went into it this weekend after the end of last season. People just figured out how to kill you, shotgun you melee as soon as you self-resed.
Yeah.
But for this weekend, it kind of was on the better side of things for our Sunsingers as we swapped characters. But I know exactly what you're talking about, man. Sometimes it feels like you self-res and you're dead in a second. You're like, are you serious right now?
Oh yeah, they can get you down pretty fast. But I had fun with those firebolt grenades and.
Those things, man.
Flame
if you
touch,
stack those with just a shot, just a couple bullets hit them, and you launch that firebolt, man, it's over.
Just clear them out, man.
It still burns for so long, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
But overall we had fun, and I think I learned some things from my losses, which is important. And we'll talk about that some when we get into our main topic.
Yeah, that's
kind of
trials,
talk about my
dude.
experience some more,
Trials, like, you want to encourage everybody to jump in there, like we've seen with our group admins, Joe and Manny. Like, they love it now. They didn't really jump in year one, but now with the bounties and everything, and you get stuff just for getting kills and completing games. Like, you definitely, if anyone is hesitating on jumping in trials, you definitely should.
It's a good
just
time.
A fun experience.
It's a good time to try.
Even if you get stomped,
just don't do it on Friday night.
Right. Yeah. Wait. Saturday. Actually, we've kind of seen over the last many weekends that early Sunday afternoon is a really nice time to jump on.
That probably sounds great if I could play then.
Yeah. I actually do. Trials was an exciting event for us this weekend. I decided to finally stream. I streamed Friday night and Saturday night, and had quite a few of the Derp family members join up, which thank you to all you guys for hanging out for a long time. We streamed for a while both nights. But the Caterpillar, man, the error that you got kicked on, or your teammate. Yeah. You were watching my video before we started the show. We were 8-0, man, used our mercy. We were up 3 rounds to 1. And we were about to lose heavy round. We made a play to come back. I was rezzing one of my 2 teammates, and it said the last guy left that we needed to kill. We were sitting on both the other orbs.
Right.
And you guys have to check out the video because it's just funny now. It's funny to watch. Within like a 5 to 10 second period, we're excited because we bring the round back. Then the guy gets kicked, and in a matter of like a second, we're excited because he quit, and the screen pops up and starts counting down that we won that round. And then within another second, screen goes black, Caterpillar error comes up.
Yep.
And then Terry was one of the last people to get dropped from the room or the game, and oh man, like it counted us, like it does. The game can't differentiate between disconnect and on our side or their side, and it was a loss, dude. 8-1. It kind of looked like we were going to win that round, so we were 1 round away from the lighthouse on that run, and that was Friday night. That was kind of in our first couple passages, so it was just we jumped right back in, man. But to watch it now, it's funny, but at the time, and people watching the stream, yeah, it was just like, you got to be kidding me.
Oh man,
the timing was unbelievable. But we bounced back, man. I did something this weekend that I haven't done yet, and we ran Saturday night, and we did a quick passage on Sunday night. And I actually got all 3 of my characters to the lighthouse, man. I was really excited. Dude. Yeah, it was really cool. I don't know what was up with that map. You know how sometimes you've been there, you just get locked in, the map just works, the chemistry of your team just works.
Right.
And we were just in the zone, man. It was so cool.
That's great. Yeah, watching you, I could tell y'all were definitely in the zone in the 11-minute clip that I was watching. It's like y'all had a good communication, good strategy. You were talking well. making those headshots,
Right.
landing the shots.
Snipe headshots, man. I'm gonna go. I got to give a shout out now too, of course, to Terry, Dixie Flatline, them's tattoos, which is eye tattoo, aka Jordan. And then we also fit in. We did this a couple months ago, but old Paulie D.
Nice.
He ran with us on Saturday night, and we got to like 7 or 8 wins with him. So
that's good.
It's fun, man. Like the communication. And he was even saying that jumping in with me and Terry, the communication, like you just said, is the biggest thing. And after you play for so long, you almost, some things you don't even have to say. You just know where each of you are going to go.
Right.
You don't even have to say where you're going.
Yeah.
But it's cool, man.
Yep.
Anyways, I can talk about trials forever. We won't we won't drive all the PvE fans crazy.
Yeah, I'll try not to. I started out sniping for the whole first night we ran, then part way into the second night, we kept running into just shoddy teams that would rush,
Right.
So I said, you know what, I've got to counter this, and I swapped to my invective.
Oh, okay.
Never looked back.
I've seen that thing a ton in trials, dude.
Just decided to just go, old school shoddy, and had a good time.
What do you run more often? Do you run shoddy or snipe?
Since after the House of Wolves, I haven't really done much shoddy work at all.
Oh, okay.
Really only when absolutely necessary to counter something. But I fell back into it pretty quick. I wasn't running a blink character, so I didn't have to worry about the timing with blink, and especially on that map, blink doesn't do you any favors.
Right.
So, just running a normal jump and just positioning correctly and, letting them run into me was usually the easiest thing than to try to aggress them. But with invective, man, I could just turn around, just bop.
That's cool.
Clear them out really fast because it's got that full auto. It took out a Blade Dancer. I was like, yeah, this is good. I like this.
It's fun to take out people in their Superman. It's even fun right now because, when the Titan pops his hammers, everybody just runs. And it's fun to either try to run until he runs out, which seems like an hour, or to actually try to take him down. And if you successfully do it, it just feels so awesome when you do it, man.
Yeah. I actually started running Stormcaller at the end of our one card last night. And Stormcaller is pretty good on that map.
Oh,
you can
definitely.
Place yourself right, yeah.
Yeah, we had Jordan was running Striker Titan on there. It's a good little map. You can kind of hide in the corners and surprise people.
Just pop out, blam.
Yeah. I was gonna say too, Terry and I were talking at some point, like Paulie joining in with this. We would like to. It's kind of like a no promises kind of thing because we never know when we're gonna jump on for any amount of time. But it's kind of just in the moment. But if anybody's interested in like jumping in with a couple of us, either you don't really play trials and you'd like to give it a shot or something like that, or you do and you just want to play with us, shoot me a tweet. And honestly, I'd like to, once, if ever, I get my Xbox character leveled up, I'd love for me and you to run with some of the community, man. Just
we could do that.
Drop some people in here and there.
That'd be fun. Keep up that stream, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
It was fun watching you play for a little while when I could watch.
Yeah.
Seems like you had some good people went and checked you out for a while.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. Even Guardian Outpost and a couple people retweeted when we went live, and we probably had, I'm not, we don't need a ton of people in there. It's kind of all about the derp fam, just hanging out, and we had 10, 15 people in there for a good amount of time both nights, just kind of chatting it up and
nice
watching us play. So it was really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the news this week.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Not a whole lot of news from Bungie this week.
No, not a ton.
Got a short, kind of abbreviated weekly update. Deej kind of said, "Hey guys, I'm about to go on vacation, so I'm just gonna throw
this is
you
the
a
last
couple
thing I have to do."
Yeah, and I feel like we keep getting strung along with when we're gonna hear about this challenge mode, man. It seems like every week it's like, oh, we'll tell you next week. Oh, we'll tell you next week.
Right.
All that we found out was, we heard from the lead raid designer, Gavin Irby, and he said, hey guys, challenge modes are incoming. Early in December, one of the King's Fall bosses will offer their challenge each week. So this was interesting to find out, at least, that we're not going to get access to all of them at once. We'll
and I
get one
assume
per week.
like a reset.
Yeah.
Their typical.
Which isn't a bad idea, I guess, because they're going to kind of stretch out the content and give you time to work it a little bit. But I was expecting maybe everything at once.
Right. Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing too. They
Yeah.
got to keep the reset stuff up, man, or our show at some point, like 5 years down the road, isn't going to make sense to people. But I guess it'll be nostalgic at that point.
Right. But it said you'll see which boss when you select the raid in the directory. It will display next to a skull, just like one of our Nightfall modifiers.
Mm-hmm.
They work on both normal and hard mode and offer rewards to match. So I'm wondering if, the challenge mode is just part of the raid. Like,
right.
Okay, when you run normal this week, Golgoroth will do this, which would be interesting because you can't not do it.
Right.
Or is it like, okay, on this thing you have to do this particular thing to meet the challenge? I'm just kind of curious how this is going to work out.
I think you're right. It's a mixture. I kind of feel like I think you're right about the raid. You're just going to load into it like normal or hard. Yeah. And when you get to that boss, you can choose to do it or not, kind of thing.
I suppose. I suppose we'll find out.
I think you may be right.
But they didn't tell us what the challenges were going to be, but they did tease for Golgoroth. He said, apologies in advance to those that run the single pool strat. So that kind of leaves me up Crap Creek.
Right. Oh, me too, man. You've ran it 100 times more than I have.
Yeah, I don't know what that means or what they're going to change, but I guess we're going to have to tinker some this week when we run the raid and see what else we can do. Kind of start to develop a workaround for Golgi.
These challenges in the raid, man, I can... just the more I hear about them and the more I hear you talk about them, like they seem like they are right up your alley. They seem like you're going to be excited to jump in and attempt to do this. I'm
pretty excited. I really enjoy raiding, and especially King's Fall. And I think my team will enjoy taking on the challenges. And I want the loot. I want to know. I want that ship. I want that final shader. I want that 320 artifact that they logically must provide.
Right. I wonder, dude, what we're gonna get for the final when we hit 50 fragments. Because the final 3 are from challenge mode, right?
Yeah.
That's what's speculated, or did they actually? They said it. They kind of teased, didn't they?
I think Luke Smith did say that the final 3 are in challenge mode.
Okay.
Speculation is that it will finish the Old Hunger quest, which. If you go to your kiosk and you look, there's a shader that says you obtain it by completing, I think this is the name of the quest, the Old Hunger quest, which we thought we completed when we got the Touch of Malice. However, that shader is not accessible yet. So speculation is when we get those final 3 fragments, the quest will complete and we'll get that shader.
Okay.
If that's it, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I heard on Planet Destiny this week, Tefty was saying that the Touch of Malice was kind of like a go get this exotic to help you in the raid, and that we really didn't get like a raid exotic, like your Necrochasm that you like the way it looks. So kind of speculation if maybe we'll get an actual exotic gun reward.
I'm not holding my breath on that, but
yeah, not for getting just 3 more fragments, maybe that would be too much of a reward. But where is it though, man? Kind of overlooked that. Like, where is our exotic from the raid? I guess Touch of Malice is that thing.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
It's just kind of weird because that was really kind of like a fetch quest, It wasn't like which I guess that's kind of the pattern of Taken King. They didn't want you to have to, wait on RNG to get what you need.
They wanted people to have direct routes to getting that thing.
Right.
I mean, look back in Necrochasm, how much of a nightmare was that for some people to get it? It took me months to get my crux to drop. And I was running it religiously 3 times a week for months to get that thing to drop. And it was frustrating. Crazy, by the time I had it, it didn't matter. So.
Yeah, I think you may be right. It must be Touch of Malice. That's a really cool gun, man. Like the gun model and the animation is pretty awesome. So it's worthy.
Oh, yeah,
of it,
I love it.
I suppose
It's really cool.
I actually thought the new statistic of the week that they're doing, I thought it was pretty interesting. in the update this week. They were talking about how, I think people were complaining about how Rusted Lands for trials wasn't symmetrical.
Right.
And that, if you spawn on one side, you have the advantage. Well, and you sit here and look at their numbers. I thought this was really interesting. I didn't think it would be this close, but it basically was 50-50. They put wins basically, right? Alpha team versus Bravo team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was 50.128 and 49.872 for each side. I thought that was pretty interesting, man. People were talking a lot about that when Rusted Lands came up.
Yeah, man, the data doesn't lie. So you're
Right.
like, well, if that's what you think, here's the data. And they like to do that. I've noticed lately that if there's like speculative talk about, well, this is unbalanced or this is that or this is that, they'll say, okay, well, look, here's some data that either says like this is what it is or this is what it is. And so I think that that's good for them to be able to do that and kind of quash the speculation sometimes. In some cases, sometimes the data they can provide is misleading. You know, you look at something like the chart they gave that showed light level in relation to KD across PvP activities that were light level enabled. There's a question of, okay, is that correlation or causation? And is it even, can you even boil it down to something that simple,
Right.
But it's nice to at least see statistics for things like this.
I would love to be at my fingertips, be able to search that stuff. I remember Luke Smith, I think it might have been when he was on Kotaku or something maybe. I don't remember if it was that or Game Informer, but he was like doing searches while he was on the podcast with them of how many people are using this weapon and looking at charts and graphs and stuff. I'm like, that would be really cool.
Yeah, just pulling data, man. You're like, okay, well, let's see.
That would be awesome.
That would be nice. How many people are using Luck in the Chamber in trials every weekend? I found a few.
Exactly.
Yep. But they kind of left it at that this week. Not a whole lot more in the weekly update. I guess, coming up, we have some things to hope for in the next weekly update this week. Hopefully they're going to talk about, they had mentioned the Titan subclass balancing. I don't know if it's just going to be Titans. I would hope that they're not just going to balance the Titan subclass, and maybe they'll touch on the rest. But we'll see. And hopefully hear a little bit more about challenge mode in the coming update next week. We'll see.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to primarily be both of those things.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what they do to Sunbreakers. We will wait and see. We will not speculate.
Yeah, but a lot of people are already asking how soon the update was going to drop. We were getting tweets about it today, and then not too long after that, Deej already said, like, hey, it's not dropping this week. Guys, it's not going to happen this week. So I'm kind of hinging on the 8th to the 15th, somewhere around there. And Mr. Woodhouse, mod over at DTG, kind of was thinking the same route. He was thinking, look, guys, maybe it'll be the 8th or the 15th, somewhere around there. So if there's anything that needs to be straightened out before Christmas, they've got time to do it. I think that was a good point too.
Yeah, try to make sure the game's in good shape before we get a whole nother crew of kindergartens.
Yep. Gotta have that nice Crucible balance going and subcast balance, all that fun stuff. We'll see. All we can do is just wait patiently, endearingly. So, you want to get into our main topic this week?
Let's do it, man. We like to have these when we're maybe having these type of main topics. If there's a little bit of a drought in the game, but what do we call it, man?
Up for anything.
Up for anything.
And this is the third edition of Up for Anything. If you've listened to the show long enough. So in Up for Anything, guys, we kind of pull topics from the community and also ourselves, just throw in some talking points and whatever's on our mind this week. So we're not necessarily chained to, we're going to talk about this one particular thing. We're going to have a kind of a nice broad discussion about whatever's on our minds this week and get it out to you guys into the ether and see what you think. So I know that we have, to start it off, a great speak pipe. You want to tell us about this?
Yeah, from our awesome buddy Manny G, aka Manny G, group admin over on our Bungie group. He has some interesting things to say about a little bit of saltiness and maybe a little bit of a content drought in Destiny. So we will listen in on what he has to say.
All right.
What's up, guys? This is Manny. Hey, I am still loving the game. Like, every day, I still look forward to getting on at night and either playing Trials on the weekends or going through the raid or just Crucible stuff. And I'm not slowing down. I really, really enjoy it. But out of the about 12 Destiny podcasts I listen to, the majority of them, their hosts are just so salty and so upset. I've even unsubscribed to a bunch of them this week because I just, I can't take it. Can't take all the complaining. So is there something really wrong with Destiny right now? Does Bungie need to release more content, and do they need to do it now? Because I remember the days where somebody would make a game, you'd buy it, and you'd play it for as long as you wanted to, and that was it. You were done, or you could play it as much as you wanted. So is it our problem that we want more stuff? Or is it Bungie's problem? They're just not releasing enough content. What do you guys think? Thanks.
All right, man. Well, thanks, Manny. That was a great speak pipe, man. You hit on a lot of things.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm going to think on it for a second. I think Cyborg wants to jump right in on this one.
Well, okay, let's address the first thing. Let's talk about the salt in the community in general right now. So if you're in the community, if you are a consumer of podcasts or writing that takes place, if you follow subreddits like Destiny the Game, Crucible Playbook, not so much Crucible Playbook at this point, in this particular point that I'm going to refer to, but any of these different places that you can see people talk about this game, even Twitter especially, you're going to see a lot of salt right now. It's a unnecessary byproduct of where this game stands right now.
Not having anything else to do. Maybe what some people think.
I think that not having something to do in this game is very subjective and very dependent on particular individuals. Now,
right.
A lot of the individuals that I think that we're hearing a lot of salt from about not having something to do in this game plays this game way more than the average user.
Right.
The more vocal minority of our community, a lot of those people play this game for a living. They're content producers, YouTubers, streamers, podcasters, mods, whatever you name it. Like, they spend an inordinate amount of time playing Destiny. Inevitably, they're going to get bored with this game. I'm sorry. That's the hard, awful truth.
Well, it's like I saw Holtzman tweeted out today that he just got done on his final review of every exotic in the game.
Yeah.
You're probably going to be a little burnt out at that point.
And more power to Holtzman for still putting together, great content for the community, still puts up a podcast. Like, that's somebody that streams and has a website and all these different things, like, very active. More power to him for still liking this game, because I cannot honestly say that if that is all I did for 8-12 hours a game was live, breathe Destiny, that I would not eventually feel like I needed a break. Okay.
Right.
There is a limit to the content in this game. I mean, yeah, you can replay stuff and you can get creative, and you can get creative with people, and I could probably not run out of ways to tell you, like, oh, well, why don't you go do this? Like, go Sherpa, or go do Crota with your hands behind your back, or whatever the hell people are trying to do this week. You can always come up with stuff. You can always be creative, but is it going to continue to be fun? That's up to the person.
Right.
And, I think what Manny is experiencing is what a lot of consumers of the Destiny brand are going to experience, in that they're going to start to see some people get fatigued in this game. And my personal attitude on it is, look, if you're fatigued in this game, go take a break, dude. Like, the game's not going anywhere. It has a finite amount of content. Like, go play something else. That's cool.
Right.
Just come back. Like, I know you'll come back when Bungie has something fresh and new and cool for you. Like, you'll come back, and you're still going to have a core group of gamers that are still playing it because they are, they're there for the PvP, or they're there for the rating or for a particular thing, and they do it like clockwork and they love it. Like, I'm not worried about the community dwindling down and us just running out of people to play this game.
See, I'm right there with Manny. Like, I don't know if I play this game just the right amount every week, but I really don't ever get bored of it. I don't know if it's things like trials on the weekends. I'm doing different things during the week. It's just turned into, I love having a game like that, but it's turned into a game that I know is always there. I can always play it. I'm always going to be into it. I've played Fallout. I'm only like level 7. I've really been wanting to jump into that game. When I do jump into that game, I see like, oh, this is nice. It's a nice little break from Destiny. This is cool. Different game. I've been playing Destiny so much.
Right.
But it takes nothing away from Destiny. I jumped right back on this past weekend and played Trials all weekend. Like, Destiny's just unique. It's the way it's set up. You can jump in and jump out. It's,
for sure.
It's the weekly reset, things like that. And I think as far as like the saltiness, we even got a tweet last week when we were going through the patch notes that are coming up in December on weapons. We got a tweet that said it seemed like we were kind of salty a little bit about some of the changes. And I think, we tweeted back and we said we didn't mean to be at all. We really try to put a positive spin on things and try to understand what Bungie's doing. But, even us, we look at this game, we're following it every day, and we may notice something that's changing a little more specifically and in detail than the average player. So, naturally, I guess we have a little bit more of an opinion about it,
Sure.
So maybe that's what some of these people, are doing on these podcasts. I will say I agree with you, Manny. Sometimes just naturally on these podcasts and in other things in general, they kind of lean towards the overall negative side of things. But, overall, I think, people stay positive and love the game. So
yeah, and Manny is exercising his right to ignore that salt.
Right.
And that's really the best thing to do.
Oh, definitely.
When you're really deep in the salt, just get out of there, and come back when those people have something positive to say again, whether it means, the new content needs to come in, or whether they need to take a break from Destiny or whatever it is. I mean, that's just the way it is, and there's going to be some fatigue in this community from time to time. But that's okay. That just means, hey, it's time for some people to take a break. Like, the great thing is there's new blood coming into this game. Like, copies were sold, after September. Copies were sold, in Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and there's going to be more sold in Christmas, and there's going to be a lot more new Guardians coming in, enjoying, this game like it's fresh and new for them, and they're not going to know what salt even is like for a long time. But Manny's other point, he wants to know, does Bungie need to release more content, and then do they need to do it right now? What do you think? What's your take on this? The lack of content right now? Or
we definitely very soon need to hear about something. I think, the Taken King came out in September. We've talked about this. I think January is a comfortable time to release something. Yeah, that might make December, seem like it's taking a while as far as Destiny content goes. But, they put things in the game that are on a weekly reset, things that are fun, things that are exciting, the raid, the challenges. They've really tried this time to kind of release little bits of stuff here and there. They're giving us quite a few more exotics in December. At least, that may not make up for a full DLC pack, but at least it's not like what we've experienced in the past from one expansion to another. It's not, absolutely nothing.
Right.
Between the two. But, I think we do need that. We are definitely at that point as a community where we need a little tease of some content, without a doubt.
Yeah, and I think a lot of what many people that I at least follow or listen to are saying is, hey, like, I can live without having brand new content right now. Like, we understand we just got a ton of stuff from Bungie. We just want to hear about what's coming next. We just want communication.
Right.
And so I think everybody's trying to kind of hold their tongue, wait for the event that's happening next weekend. What is it? They're going to PlayStation Experience.
PlayStation Experience, yep.
That's got to be a key indicator of when we're going to hear something. I think they wouldn't just go there without anything to talk about.
Right, yeah, they wouldn't even. I mean, it's not like they've got a test build that they're of something. They haven't mentioned anything. We don't even know. Like, at this point, we usually have some sort of leaked trademark or something.
Yeah.
So they've got to be sitting on something, I'm sure. And where better to do it than the console that they've tried to. At least Sony's tried to make themselves seem as the primary Destiny console.
But I mean, so, I think at this point we're not even 3 months away from the last piece of content. I mean, it's like 2.5, like as of today, I think.
Right.
45 days. I mean, we chewed through that content pretty quick, guys. And it was a lot. I mean, some of it's not even done. So there's stuff that people haven't even done yet. Guarantee it. There's Crucible stuff. There's Trials of Iron Banner. There's raid stuff that people haven't even done yet. You can't say you're sick of the game when you haven't exhausted your options. Maybe you're tired of the thing that you like the most. That's okay. But they can only make so much of everything. I mean, they're not going to just do a DLC that's 12 strikes if that's what you like. You know, they've kind of spread it out a little bit. So, but no, I mean, I think that they're on point as of right now with giving us, content. Now, the last point I'll make, because we got to wrap this up, is Bungie is into the second year of a community of a game that they've created. And I think that they've created a community with a very voracious appetite. And I think that the appetite for content has grown even more since the Taken King drop than before. I think players want even more content than we wanted a year ago and are expecting way more from this game because the sugar was that sweet. You know what I mean? So it's up to Bungie to kind of decide how are they going to keep us fed.
I do not envy their position, man, because it's like Meanie said with the, you'd buy a game. That's the game. There's no patching. There's nothing. You play it as much as you want. You can go back to it if you want, back in the day, like GoldenEye on 64. And I think the gaming in general has changed so much, man. And sometimes you just have to sit back and just realize what we have and what we're getting with Destiny. It's really kind of crazy if you think about it, everything that we can do in this game. And I think you really hit on a good point. It's really something should be said for how much, even if you are getting kind of, a little bored with it right now, think about how much you have played it. Not a lot of games can do that. And think about the fact that you more than likely will come back to it, you as in the community. And so, I mean, there's something to be said for that. And I think you hit on a really cool thing too is, people were kind of hesitant on this refer a friend thing, but you even said yourself before the show, you're excited to jump back in and help someone. Like you said, to get creative with it. I think that's huge. A huge thing.
Yeah. I mean, you're hitting on a good point there too. If you're 1,000 hours into this game, if you're 2,000 hours into this game, think about how much you've played that content and what your expectation could realistically be of Bungie to provide content that can give you that kind of time into a game. Like, this is, like it or not, this is not World of Warcraft. Like, there may be grinding in this game, but you don't have to grind to have fun in this game. You don't have to sit there and click on stupid crap for 6 hours straight to get one little thing crafted so that you can go and do this other little thing and blah, 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 blah. Like, thank you, Bungie, for not creating ways to keep me busy to, gate activities so that I would stay in your game world. Like, right. Thank you for making activities condensed enough that I can do them and have fun and walk away knowing I did something fun and achieve something in your game every time I log on.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Like, there's something to be said for, like, having brevity in some of the content that it doesn't eat up your whole life.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like we're taking a spin on negativity, and we're saying, think about what we have with this game, guys.
I mean, we should.
Yeah, definitely. I
just want to give a reality check sometimes to some people. Like,
you just got to sit back, and realize it, man. I mean, we're talking about a video game, but if you just sit back and realize what we're getting, I bought the collector's edition of the Taken King. I bought the original vanilla copy of Destiny, both expansion packs for PlayStation. This was all for PlayStation. I bought an Xbox copy to play with you. I bought House of Wolves already with that vanilla Xbox copy, and then I bought the digital. No. I bought the Taken King digital version on my Xbox. So I bought the DLC content again.
Right.
And I don't feel like if you add all that up for the amount of time that I've put in Destiny, I can't complain. Honestly, They could charge $100 for Destiny 2. We know what to expect. We know if we like the game. We know how much time we're going to put into it. I really think like $60, $40 for Taken King. It's really kind of amazing, the amount of gameplay that we're getting with it. They're saving us money, right? I only bought Fallout, but I did splurge and buy Star Wars. But I wasn't even planning on buying Star Wars. So I bought Destiny games and Fallout. When normally I probably would have bought 5, 6, 7 games this fall.
Yeah, I would have too. Yeah. Almost all the major releases I would have picked up. Now I'm like, well,
what can I balance with Destiny?
Yeah. Can I fit this in right now? Okay, I'm just going to buy this. When I get tapped on this, maybe by Christmas I can buy this.
No, definitely.
Keep money in my pocket. And money that gets spent at the Bungie store.
Oh, there you go. Yep. And paying for shipping and handling.
Yeah.
No, that was a great question, man. Obviously, we've been talking about this for a little bit. Awesome question.
That's a good point. And you had a to kind of that's related to this. Like, you had put up a Reddit post. How long ago was this? A couple months ago.
This was pre-Taken King.
That had to do. Well, I guess you wrote the post. Kind of break down.
Yeah, basically,
to this topic.
We had kind of talked about it several times, and I decided, let's just post something and see what kind of feedback we get. We got a ton of hits on it, ton of comments, and kind of relating to if you feel like there's a drought in the game or you're kind of getting bored with it, waiting for new content. We were specifically talking about Prison of Elders, and basically said, what does Bungie need to do with Prison of Elders to get us to play it more, or House of Wolves content in general? So like we said, this was pre-Taken King. And we also got an email this week from Guardian Cell, a.k.a. Guardian Born. Thanks for emailing us, man. And he said kind of something related. How do you feel about Bungie revamping the original raids and Prison of Elders for the weapon and armor to drop at a current max light level? I personally miss old Vault of Glass weapons and armor. I feel this would bring more replay value to the current game. So we got a ton of hits on our post, and it's obviously related to Guardian Born's question as well. And I think I have always been a strong believer, man, that one, all the development time that's put into those old raids, something, and it may not be a whole revamp, it may not be bringing the difficulty up to the current difficulty level, maybe not even that, but like Prison of Elders, and this is kind of two separate things, but we'll touch on the raids and see what we think about that. Give us something. Like I saw somebody mention, bring back Vex. You can run Vault of Glass and you have a chance to get the Vex to drop on hard mode at the current light level.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Or Necrochasm, just something to make us go back into that old content. And if they wanted to really make it more than just a drop, that would be amazing. Even if they just focused on the raids, I feel like we should always want to jump, other than just to have fun. I really feel like as much content that is there, and as much as we love things like the Vaulted Glass, it would be so cool to have a reason to go back. I feel like they need to find some sort of mechanic with every DLC that comes out that makes you want to go back and run those old raids.
I feel like it would have been the perfect opportunity to rework Vaulted Glass and Crota with bringing the Taken in, similar to how they redid the strikes, because it could kind of somewhat make sense a little bit. I mean, not technically timeline-wise in the lore, but like from just a creative perspective, like, okay, well, they were reworking this part of this encounter that, has Taken now, and it has these types of enemies, and et cetera,
Right. Yeah, you're kind of right, too, because they do back themselves in a corner a lot unintentionally, because they try to make the game so thorough, like with subclasses and lore and the raids and lore. But, I think maybe they're working on it. Find something that doesn't require a whole rework of the raid or raising the difficulty, but something that would allow them to easily, I say easily, I mean something like a drop or something like a challenge mode in these old raids that would make you, each DLC pack, just give you a little bit of a reason to jump back in and do those, and then they answer the question or the problem of what, people running out of content. Well, all the old raids are relevant. We want to run. Maybe, obviously, they're not going to raise. We've been a player long enough. They're not going to raise the old weapons and the old armor, because that was what they wanted to get away from, right?
Right.
They didn't want the old Vaulted Glass weapons and the new raid weapons just running the show everywhere. But you know what I mean? Like, can you think of anything that they could do, like a drop, a simple mechanic like that would give you incentive as a player to jump back and make that old content relevant?
I think that they could pretty easily do a quest system that would reward you for going back and doing those raids. Maybe
that's
doing
a great
them
idea,
a certain way. Maybe doing them with new guardians. A few different things that would maybe ultimately like reward a special weapon, or exotic weapon,
or like a weekly raid bounties.
Sure,
kind of like what you're saying.
Yeah.
And if you go back and do these 4 bounties in Vaulted Glass, you will get a Nightfall tier reward for completing these 4 bounties.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be really neat, I think. And then, like Prison of Elders, this is something I think of even, I believe even more strongly than the raids. Prison of Elders I was so excited for it. I thought I was going to be more excited for that than Trials. And it ended up being the opposite. But Prison of Elders just felt like a huge missed opportunity. We posted specifically about that on Reddit, and we got some great feedback, man. Like, basically, what Prison of Elders could have been, and what I wish they would revamp it to be, is like a horde mode from Gears of War. Endless waves. Every 10 waves, you have a chance to get an exotic, and you fight a boss. When you hit 50 waves, each 10 waves, your exotic chance increases. Maybe it caps at 50 waves, and it's just spawns of higher difficulty enemies coming at you. Basically, some way to make Prison of Elders seem endless. That's what we need with it, don't you think?
That would be fun. Even some similar to how you might have seen wave modes like in Call of Duty or Gears, where you have an active like reinforcement system, like you can do this, that, or this to call in reinforcements or build a thing, like, okay, build this structure that will help protect you or set a trap. That stuff could be pretty fun in Destiny, I think. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking around what you're saying, but I would definitely be down for an endless wave type.
And then I think you really hit on something, dude. Like, all this old content, if you don't, you don't need to revamp the rewards. If we get a Dreg's Promise from it, cool. But give us bounties that tell us to go back in there and do it. Now, then we have the problem of we're jumping in on a 34 PoE and we're light level, 300.
Yeah.
So we're just going to smoke through it. So what do you do with that issue? So that's why, I feel like there's something there. They need to find some way to make us go back into it that doesn't require a lot of work for them because they're working on new content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would love Prison of Elders, and what I always wanted it to be was some sort of wave-based mode that I can just go in like we do Court of Oryx. You and I could just jump in, chat it up, talk about Destiny, talk about other stuff, and we're just shooting stuff for hours, getting loot. And I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really something I think would be cool.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll ever get it.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe somebody's out there listening.
I have to give a shout out on these two here as well. Some of the ideas that I pulled from and things that we were thinking about. Matt Payne 11 was one of the posters on this original post that we threw up, and then Tal, I believe, is the other name on there. So this was a couple months ago, guys. If you happen to be listening to this show, thanks for posting on our Reddit post.
Yeah, thanks. You never know when stuff comes back around.
Right. Well, you had a couple things you wanted to talk about too, man.
Yeah, man. I was talking earlier about my experience in trials this weekend, and I've talked a little bit about PvP since Taken King dropped, and how when the meta changed, how I kind of felt neutered for a little while. Kind of had to get my feet back underneath me and kind of get my strengths back, I guess, as far as how I felt and my confidence, and figure out what the meta was, figure out what was strong, get the right weapons, pick the right subclasses. And I felt like I kind of got to that point. I learned the new maps, found the right guns that I liked, which, by the way, I kept bragging on my 320 reflection sum, but I realized that I had a 308 reflection sum with hidden hand. Oh my gosh, that thing is a beast.
Very nice.
I had a lot of fun with that this weekend.
I forgot to mention, man, speaking of that, I got a 320 inward lamp, and I also got, I've heard Pope Bear talk about this being a pretty decent roll, especially with the auto rifle buff coming up. Sorry for the tangent. I got a 318 auto rifle from Trials with counterbalance.
Nice.
So I'm hoping that thing is pretty beast after
hopefully
the
so.
December patch. Anyway, sorry, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I apologize.
No, it's okay. I love to
We
hear about loot.
start talking loot, man,
I love to
and then
hear
it's
about
over.
Loot. It's all about the loot. But okay, so coming full circle, I went through a really long learning experience through the House of Wolves, like just taking my game up a notch. And, through that experience, related a lot on the podcast about learning how to do trials and to run with teams, and learning about communication and running plays, and all the next level stuff that can help you be a successful Crucible player. And I realized that in my lapse of Crucible play, in my lack of focus on Crucible play, I fell back into some bad habits. And so I'm here to confess and exercise those bad habits on the show, and just relate to how those things killed me this weekend. So I think that my worst habit in playing Crucible is my level of salt. And I am not a angry competitive player. Like, I'm not the kind of player that will just stay mad about things or that will yell at people. But I am a player that will just loud cap and react very quickly when things don't go in my favor. So, I mean, and to me, that is salt. Like, just instead of, sucking it up and taking it like it is and just shutting my mouth, like, sometimes I just find myself just complaining and moaning and like, oh, I had that shot and why didn't it connect? And, oh, I can't believe he killed me again with that gun, or screw this hunter, man, this and that. And really found myself in a rut this weekend, just way too salty. And, you know, I didn't really catch it until I had wrapped up a lot of my games and we hadn't really been successful. And, you know, I always try to look back. You know, I can't be a perfect person or a perfect player, but what I can do is try to reflect on what is wrong there, you know, with me. I can't change what my teammates did. I can't change what the other team did, but I can think about myself. Should I have played this gun? Should I have played that way? Do I need to practice my sniping more, or this or that? And I really realized, like, the thing that I needed to change the most wasn't how I was using my Sunsinger self-revive. It was my attitude.
Right.
And so I bring this up because it's something that I don't think just relates to PvP. I think it relates to the entire game, across PvE too. Because when you get into in-game activities, you're going to be in stressful situations, and you're going to be in a team of players. And I've been victim to players that will not shut the hell up and just accept something didn't go right.
Mm-hmm.
And when that player cannot shut their damn mouth, like, it makes me upset, because I'm like, dude, just shut up and figure it out.
Right.
Or shut up because you're not helping anything. And I hate to be I hate to think that I am that person to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to think, like, wow, I really need to shut my mouth and focus on playing better. You know?
Right. It's
And
hard
so-
sometimes too, man. Yeah, to in those few second moments to realize, dude, you missed your shot. Don't get upset with the game. Just get upset
Right.
with yourself. Control your. Yep. Everybody does it.
And so, you know, it's just something that is a bad habit for me. And I am trying to be part of a community in Destiny that's positive. It's something that is part of our show. It's something that is part of shows of people I respect, and the people that I follow in the Destiny community are positive people.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I'm going to surround myself with those people, and, you know, declare that that's who I want to be, then I have to follow that. And so I can't allow myself to be a person that is just a salty piece of shit.
You're probably not that
It's
bad.
not
man.
that bad.
Yeah.
I'm really hard
You're
on
just being
myself.
tough on yourself. Yeah.
I am being tough on myself, but I have to be.
Well, you know, dude, I mean, you obviously are leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of people, because, I mean, everybody's guilty of what you're saying. And I think, you know, things like trials and stuff that, you know, you don't have time to do that. You know, it makes you do what you're saying. It makes you just realize, okay, I just need to get better. You know, I missed my shot. And, you know, you said it's across the whole game. And I feel like that's definitely, I mean, you're hitting on a really cool topic, because that's something everybody can learn from and do. I mean, I think every player can. You just, different
Anybody
levels.
can fall victim to it,
Mm-hmm.
and you can have it in different degrees. I mean, you can be a little salty, and then you can be real salty another night.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can have people that are salty all the time, and people don't want to play with them. I've seen that too. And, you know, so my point is, I'm bringing this all up not just to, like, lay my burden down here, but to make other people aware of the fact that salt is a problem when you're playing anything competitively, when you're playing on a team, and nobody wants to hear you whine and cry, whether that's myself included, you know? And so people should understand, like, that it does affect the morale of your team. It's distracting to people. And it takes focus away from the gameplay at hand, and it's not constructive. So if you find yourself as what I would say is a victim of the salt, then just first recognize it and start placing it when it happens in your gameplay. And I promise you that if you just become cognizant of the fact that you're overly salty, you'll become more aware of it, and then you can address it and replace it with something that's more constructive. Whether it be you thinking to yourself, okay, I'm salty about this, but I just screwed that up, and recognizing that, and then moving into a more comfortable level where you make a mistake and you just accept it and move on and correct. which is really where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And just taking steps like that in your daily play can really improve your performance, and it can improve the morale of your team. People will want to play with you more. People will enjoy playing with you more, and you'll have more success.
I think this is also a great life lesson too, man.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
apply this to life in general.
Yeah, this is not just a playing Destiny thing or playing video games thing. I mean, nobody wants to play cards, or nobody wants to do a group project or be on a project team in a career with somebody that complains when things don't go their way. And I'm not, the funny thing is that in real life, I'm not a complainer,
right.
A chronic complainer. What happens is when I play the game, I'm real salty. And I was like, I can't let this thing happen in this part of my life, because that's not who I am. You know?
And you're playing it, for fun in your spare time.
Yeah, and I want to enjoy this. Like, I don't want to be salty for 3 hours while I play Trials and walk away like with a really poor experience because I couldn't process it well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In things like this, and if you listen to some of our friends, like over at Crucible Radio, they'll talk about stuff like tilt, and salt can definitely affect tilt. If you know what tilt is, it's kind of that mindset where somebody or something has upset you and you can't really recover well enough, and it affects your gameplay in a dramatic way.
Mm-hmm.
Salt can affect and tilt you and your team. So it's just something to be cognizant of and work on. And it's something I'm going to work on because, I want to be able to go flawless every weekend. And that's one thing I picked out that will prevent me from getting there. So I'm going to work on it.
No, that's an excellent topic, dude. I think a lot of people will benefit from what you just said. And it seems like I play Destiny for Trials a lot of the time, but one of the key things that our fire team has talked about with Trials that we've gotten allowed us to play better and get further in that game mode is you don't have a lot of time to think in there between rounds. And if you didn't like something that happened, we had to teach ourselves to just let it go. Don't even get salty. Just next round starts, let's go. And I'm not saying we do that every time either. I get shot around a corner, or it's everything you just said. It's a constant challenge. And
for
struggle.
sure.
Yep. So no, that's a great topic, man, for sure.
Good. I'm glad you can relate a little bit.
Speaking of saltiness, man, I threw an extra little thing on here. You talk about salt back in the day, but I just wanted to get your opinion. How do you feel about shotguns right now and how their role and how they're playing in the Crucible? I put out a tweet this week and said, as a sniper, and that has plus and minuses, maybe they don't get close enough to me, maybe they do at times, but I used to be really annoyed by shotguns in the game, and I'm really not at all right now. They don't really bug me at all. This is coming from someone that doesn't use a shotgun very often. I get killed by them more often than I use them, way more often. But you use it more than I do. What do you think about all the changes we know are coming and how you're playing against them in the Crucible right now?
It's really hard to know, like, definitively how these changes are going to affect shotties. I mean, all we can do is speculate that, my speculation was like that it's a huge nerf.
Right.
And they'll become a lot less relevant.
And maybe it's more of just putting in them in their intended role.
Maybe so.
Yeah. But what do you think, like right now when you play Trials this weekend, I don't even feel like I get killed by them that much. And there was a lot of shotguns on Anomaly this weekend.
Oh yeah, I mean,
they didn't annoy me at all. Like they just right now, like almost, it's as close to 0% as it's ever been. They do not. I feel like they're balanced. I feel like, to me, and this is coming from someone that really was annoyed by them before this last patch.
Right.
So that's.
I mean, my team would play against 3 shotgunners with 2 snipers and 1 shotgun, or 3 snipers on that map. And Anomaly is a map that is notorious for being just dirty shotgun city. I think that says that if you know how to play the map properly, if you have the right gun skill, if you don't place yourself in positions where you know you are susceptible to shotgun fire, that you can defeat that. And I think a lot of the old annoyance came with the fact that the range of a shotgun and the speed of a shotgun was so great that even in situations where it would not seem logical to be killed by that weapon, you would be killed by that weapon.
Right.
Now, I think that if you use good map knowledge and positioning, then you can create the right amount of distance between yourself and a shotgunner so you're not susceptible to falling into a trap. Like, okay, if you're running up to B point on Anomaly and you run up there and you're going to one of those right or left hallways, like, yeah, you're vulnerable to getting dropped on by a shotgunner. Like, but you're in a narrow, tight corridor. So what do? You stay away from that area and you play a different part of the map if that's not how you play. Or you make sure that it's clear. You know, shotguns can't not exist in this game. They're a part of the game. So if we're playing a small map like that, like, you're going to have people that really prefer shotguns and they're going to try to do that, but you can outsmart them.
Right.
You know, there's plenty of lanes, long lanes. I mean, I was just killing those guys with primaries a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I switched to a shotgun at one point just to give them something to play around with, you know? But a lot of the time I would just create the distance and kill them with a primary.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Conspiracy Theory D, the one you get from the story, that shotgun probably has the most range right now, I think. And I'll get killed by it from a decent distance. But like you said, the reason I bring this up is because after playing Trials all weekend, not getting frustrated, talking about what you were talking about before, not really getting frustrated about specifically shotguns, I get worried that, you know, I really get worried with some of these patches, like what we're afraid is going to happen to pulse rifles. And more changes to shotguns. Like, I just get worried that sometimes they don't need to touch things. And shotguns, it's so obvious for me right now because shotguns used to bother me so much, and they don't at all right now. And it's like, you know, flip flop for me. So, and I'm just one person that plays the game. You know, I could be not experiencing some things, but it just worries me sometimes when I'm like, man, are they making a change that they don't need to make, you know? But like you said, it's speculation.
I worry about it
we
too,
won't
but
know.
I'm just trying to trust in what they have planned.
Right.
If it's way off, I'll let them know. You know,
right.
That's the best I can do. And really, if it's way off, the worst is that a shotgun is not as effective.
Right.
Whatever. I can live with that. Like, cause I'm not living the blank shoddy life anymore.
Right. It just seems like we want that ultimate balance. Who knows if it'll ever happen? It's an unbelievable thing for them to try to achieve. But it seems like not even that, but we get the opposite. You know, the auto rifles were amazing. Then no one used them. Hand cannons were amazing. No one used them. Pulse rifles, no one used. And now we've used them for several patches. Now I'm afraid we're not going to use pulse rifles anymore. We may not use shotguns anymore. So now it may be auto rifles and scouts. That's part of the game. I think even the Crucible Radio guys would say that's kind of the excitement. You got to learn what the meta is at the current time. But I just don't like to see some things just shoved all the way back into the ground again. But sorry, I just kind of wanted to get your opinion on it and see what you thought about shotguns.
I don't want to see any weapon in its grave. I mean, look at fusion rifles, you know?
Right.
It's totally just in the graveyard, man. Like, I mean, I think that with a specific skill set, you can use them successfully, but they're pretty much like a shadow of what they once were. I don't want to see that, but I am willing to happily allow the sandbox team to tweak to hopefully achieve some progression and balance. You know, I think it's just going to continuously evolve. And it's something we're going to have to just kind of adjust to over, you know, when it happens and roll with it. And I think ultimately it makes us better players. I mean, ultimately all the different weapon balances that have happened over time have forced me to pick up weapons that I was not previously comfortable with, learn their strengths and weaknesses, and become good at something that I didn't like, until I actually found preferring that thing, you know? And ultimately, I think it'll teach you about what they intend for these weapons to be doing, and better map positioning, and you know,
no, that's a good point.
And
because every time they focus on those patch notes, I think you're right about their intended use. They always focus on what range these guns should be used at. And maybe the pulse rifle change won't be that bad, because they're trying to make it to where you'll use pulse rifles at the range and the play type that you're supposed to. So, I mean, the challenge that they're faced with, man, is, just constantly trying to get it right.
Pretty enormous undertaking, trying to balance what they have now. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm just going to roll with the punches and, take it as it comes. And there's no sense in all in just stressing ourselves out and worrying about what's going to happen to this, or bye-bye to this. I mean, of course, I gave my opinion on it. That's pretty much it. I left it in that show. Like, that's all I'm going to really worry about it until we get the patch. Like, those were my, first takes. And then when we get the guns balanced, like, we'll go try them and we'll see, we'll give them our feedback. Like, that's what we have to do.
I agree, man. And it's always exciting to jump in and figure out what's going on with the new patch, weapon patch.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, man, you want to give some shout outs this week?
Yeah, man. Derp Community Spotlight shout outs. I already mentioned my trials team.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Terry, Dixie, Flatline, I Tattoo Jordan, and Paulie D. Thanks for the Derp fam for checking out the stream. I hope that we can do it more often and just kind of hang out. Also, thank you to Gary O's for referring me on Xbox. He sent me a message, and hopefully at some point, I keep saying, but when I get my Titan to roughly around 300, I will be able to get some of these cool rewards after running with him to get this cool stuff. So
there you go, man.
There you go. What about you, dude?
Yeah, well, I got to give a couple shout outs to @CodyCarlDigits and my buddy Tank for running trials with me this weekend. We may play some more tonight, we'll see. And then a quick shout out to somebody I met right before the show in the tower. His name is Roy Calls, and he is my new Refer a Friend buddy.
Awesome.
And we're going to go try the Refer a Friend content. So hopefully next week when we come back, I can kind of tell you what I thought of that.
That's cool, man.
So he's a brand new Guardian. Like I was telling the Arrow before the show, excited to talk to a brand new player to this game and play some stuff with them and kind of find out what they like and what they don't like, and just experience some things new again. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, good stuff, man. We need to... Derp fam and community, let's try to figure out a way. We need to get Cyborg a PlayStation 4. He needs a Guardian on PlayStation 4,
don't do that, man.
And then I'm gonna follow up and ask, if anyone would like to do the Refer a Friend on PS4 with me. I would prefer it be Cyborg on his new PlayStation. So let's see what we can make happen, man.
Okay, I entered a contest for a PS4. Maybe I'll get lucky. For Christmas.
You need one sitting on your shelf, man.
We'll find out. I'll give it a shot. I know there's a lot of great Guardians on PlayStation that I miss playing with. So, and I've been seeing a couple guys. I know Guardian Outpost just got him a PlayStation, and he's been playing over there.
It's crazy how Destiny's done that, man. I don't know how many times in my gaming life that I've owned the same game on two different consoles. But
it's just utter insanity.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's all the community, man. We talk about it all the time. The community is driving almost all of this. People want to play with their community on the other platform. But thanks, Derp fan, for this great community and sharing your stories. Please, this little Derp community spotlight and shout out section just didn't about us, giving some shout outs to you awesome Derp fam guardians out there. If you have like any cool stories even if it's getting a caterpillar error right in the middle of your trials run, share it with us because we'll share it on the show, man. Everybody
put
wants
it
to
up
hear
in the
about
group or email us. You can always email us at destinyresetpodcast@gmail.com. You can hit us up there if you got like a nice little snippet of a story you want to share. You can also tweet us at Destiny Reset. And you can find all the links for everything at destinyresetpodcast.com.
I also actually wanted to mention real quick, Guardian Born that sent us that question. He did put a little snippet in there of his Iron Banner experience, and he said he had a good time, got a few characters high level, and he also got a 320 Iron Banner Ghost on one of his last games. So
nice, man.
That was pretty cool, man. Definitely.
That's a pretty good roll right there.
Yeah, for sure. So I just
I'll
wanted
take
to
it.
mention that as well. As usual, yeah, I got a 317. I was pretty excited about
snaps.
that. So the ghosts have been dropping high level for me, man. So I'll take that anytime.
For sure.
But thanks, guys, for the iTunes reviews. We like to get guests on when we can, but we also really like to just have a nice little OG powwow between the two of us, like back in the old days. So we hope you guys enjoy these shows with just Cyborg and I, and we're not too boring. We try to get a little bit more in depth on some topics.
Yeah. We do have some guests coming up for you guys, though.
Definitely.
So, let us know if there's somebody you would like us to have on. But we have some people lined up. A lot of it's balancing holidays and people's schedules and things, trying to get certain people on sometimes, but we got good stuff lined up for always. There's a multitude of ideas brewing at Destiny Reset headquarters for you guys. Believe that.
The digital headquarters.
The digital headquarters
connecting us from the Midwest to the southern states.
Yep.
That's awesome. This has been awesome, dude. I love chatting about Destiny with you, man. So
always, man.
It never gets old. Yeah,
never does.
Guys, thank you for joining us, and until next week, as usual, have fun playing Destiny, and take care, Guardians.
We still have much to learn about Oryx.
You haven't done him in a while, man.
No, I had to throw it.